What's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. So tonight we're going to take a little bit of a departure from the music as we get ready for a whole slew of music that's coming out, including Drake's Iceman later on this week, which, yes, we will have full coverage of. Trust and believe we'll do that. But before that, I want to get to something that came out last week, around this time last week, which was the Complex Magazine's 35 most powerful hip hop media personalities. And I want to kind of have an in-depth discussion about this because I want to talk about the list first, who I think, should have been higher up on the list, who got slighted a little bit, who missed the list. And we're going to get into who was number one. And we're going to ask a real salient question. And is that who was number one really? Is he really good for the culture? Does he really have the cultural values to spread the brand of hip hop and be objective in the brand of hip hop in today's game? And lastly, I'm going to bring up some comments on another hip hop media personality, which I want to kind of talk a little bit about how hip hop media goes a little bit too far showing bias. And it gets to the point where some hip hop media personalities now are being launched just to spread, I don't want to say smear campaigns, but negativity campaigns against certain artists. And I don't like that. If we're going to use that brand to be objective hip hop journalists, be objective. You know what I mean? But before I get to that, we're going to talk about the list and who I think was slighted, didn't make it, and of course, who is at the top. Now, before we go on, I want to bring up what the criteria is. I'm not going to bring it up. I'll just read it. It was based on 10 different criteria. It was based on cultural influence, assesses their impact on the culture and trends, content diversity, evaluate the variety of media formats they engage with, music, podcast, and video. So it's more than just, having a pod, audience engagement, look at their ability to connect with and grow their audience across platforms. Authenticity, consider their genuine representation of hip hop values and community. I really want to know what hip hop values means coming from Complex. You know what I mean? Because Complex to me has a certain set of values that only cater to one demographic. But I digress anyway. So innovation, examine their creativity and originality in content creation and storytelling. Collaborations, review their partnerships with other artists and brands within and outside hip hop. Social commentary, analyze their involvement in social issues and how they use their platform for advocacy. I don't know about that because I just hold on that because I think, in my opinion, hip hop should be something to get away from the social issues and the political climate we got in this country. But this is what they based it on. So, all right. Longevity, consider their sustained relevance and adaptability. Excuse me, let me get it out right. Adaptability in evolving hip hop landscape. Business acumen, look at their entrepreneurial ventures and successes in monetizing their brand, how much money they make. I don't know about that. I I really don't like it now when it's almost like people have to use how much money are your net worth as a hip hop criteria now. Oh, he's a billionaire, so therefore he's the greatest. Like, really? What does that have to do? So he did a bunch of business ventures outside, was successful. I don't know. I don't know what that has to do with the music. Anyway, and recognition, check for awards, nominations, and critical acclaim within the industry. For hip hop media personalities, there's not too many awards out there, but you know, that's what they were rolling with. So that's what we're gonna go with tonight. And I'm gonna bring up the list. And the reason why I'm doing this is because obviously Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews is hip hop media. So we're going to have to comment on people, and I'm not in that stratosphere of hip hop personalities, but we like to review music on here and keep it about the music. We really don't want to delve too much into the fuck shit that goes on, pardon my language, and the BS that goes on some of the platforms. And, with a lot of shenanigans and gossip and who's who and who's dating who and who cheated on this and domestic issues. We don't want to get into that, and of course, the competition, who's the best in the game. You know what I mean? As far as who the best rappers are, who's putting out the best music, all of that. So we do that on our platform. But with that, let's bring up the list and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and share my screen. All right, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so y'all can see it. Okay. Hold on. Let's get this list. Let's see how it looks on the screen. See, y'all can say, oh, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. All right. I want to start down a little bit at the bottom. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. One interesting name on here that was on here is Rob Markman. I like him, man. He's really good, and he kind of follows the format of our platform. He reviews music. He gives more of a take on the actual scenes, and he gives more of a musical and hip-hop lyrical perspective. And that's kind of what we do here. We want to make it about the music, and I like that he does that. He was in the industry. I believe Rob was an A&R or what have you, and a lot of these guys are A&Rs, or people who are affiliated in the industry some way, A&Rs, artists, or what have you, that have gone to the pod game. So shout out to Rob Markman for making it. I like that. DJ Head and Gina Views. I think DJ Head really blew up off of the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. A lot of these people, I could say half of this list blew up because of the beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I think the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, I think that really pushed hip hop media to the forefront. I really did. I think hip hop media changed after that, because when the battle was going on, it was like a full scale news cycle. It was literally like, CNN, Fox News for hip hop as to what was going on. Every day we were on our hands and knees as to what one fan base was saying, what one opinion was saying. We were looking for debates back and forth on the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, and I think that really pushed hip hop media in the stratosphere as being a main source of media consumption. So I really think that did that. And DJ Head blew up off of that, obviously with his views on Kendrick Lamar. Jim Jones, that's interesting. I told you when he was dissing Nas or taking shots at Nas and all that, it was all geared towards him having his own podcast. And now that he has Let's Rap About It, his podcast with Fab, Dave East, and Mano, he got to where he want to be. And believe it or not, I think Jim Jones right now, that's the right space for him. I think a lot of these rappers, I think they have a personality where they want to sell their personality. And I think Jim Jones is actually good in this space, believe it or not. And now he says a lot of outlandish stuff and outlandish takes, and he has his biases, and he tries to do things saying, he appeals to the youngins or what have you, and he reaches a lot, but I think this is the space for him. And this is a list he belongs on. Nori, Drink Champs. Nori kind of had a quiet year. I think Nori, they didn't get too deep in the Kendrick and Drake beef. They basically asked some of the older OG artists that came on what they thought about it, but they didn't get too deep into it like some of the other ones. And I think that kind of hurt his status, because at one point I think Drink Champs was like top 5 in my opinion. You know what I mean? Especially after that Kanye interview, man, they were viral after that. But I think Nori's up there. I don't know where Shannon Sharp's on here. I guess Club Shay Shay is a hip hop podcast, but he's more of an entertainment podcast. I might have him lower on this list. I think Lauren LaRosa, I think she's excellent. Lauren LaRosa is the shit. She's going places in the game. One day you're going to see her hosting her own show. Lauren LaRosa is going places in the game. She knows her shit. She gets the facts right. She is like a hip hop version of like a Diane, you know what I mean? Or a Barbara Walters. I'm dating myself naming those news anchors, but she's up there. Like I think she should be higher on this list. Nadeska, Alexis, same thing. I think they're excellent. I think, in my opinion, Lauren LaRosa and Nadeska are the best 2 females in hip hop media right now. Best 2, top 2, period. I'd have them higher on the list. Cameron, I think he should be up higher, especially after the J. Cole interview. I definitely think he should be up higher. He should be at least in the top 10. I would say, what's his name? Gilly and Wallow. I'm not really a Gilly fan like that. I like Wallow more than Gilly. I mean, Gilly more turned into the whole sports dynamic more so than anything. And just to let you know, we got a guest, my homie, the King of the North, Reese, Funeral God. He will be joining us from Torture Talk and Torture Chamber. What's good, my brother?
What's up, man?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on?
We just got started reviewing this list, and obviously we have it up on the screen. Real quick, I want to get your take on the list, man. Do you think they got it right? Do you think some people got snubbed off of this list? Some people should have been up higher.
This is the first time I've seen the actual entire list.
Okay.
Let me look over it real quick, because
Yeah, well,
I
that's
didn't
what
see
we're
the
doing. We just got started, so you didn't miss too much. I'm just going on some of the people that I think should have been on here up higher, or some people that weren't even were left off. So
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Yeah, I don't agree with this list. I don't agree with this
I
list.
don't really agree with it either. I mean, I didn't even get to the top 10. Real quick, I was just bringing up my points. I think Nadeska and Lauren LaRosa, I think, in my opinion, they're the best two females in hip hop media right now. They should be up higher. Um,
Yeah.
I think Rob Markman, shout out to Rob Markman for making the list. He could be up higher too. Um, I think Nori, he took a step back because I don't think Nori involved in the Kendrick and Drake beef.
John Frozen.
Took hip hop media into the stratosphere. I think
Yeah.
that's what made hip hop media like a main source of media consumption now. People go to hip hop media before they go to their CNN or mainstream media or NBC, whatever, and I think it was because of the beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't agree with this list.
Yeah,
I noticed on here they got I guess everybody's their who they either signed with or
yeah.
their moniker. Um yeah, let me see. Cause I can't see. All right. So I
I
will
could
put it to you
actually
like
blow it
this.
up a little bit. Hold on a minute. Let me blow it up, because it is a little bit small. I cut some of them out. Like 17. I hear a lot about bootleg Kev. I've never really listened to his platform. Is he pretty
He's
good?
at Yeah, he's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Bootleg Kev is dope. Bootleg
yeah,
Kev to me, he's dope.
yeah.
This is a popularity contest.
It pretty
It
much
really
is.
is. It really is a popularity
Yeah.
contest. At this point, this is the same thing that they do with popularity. Cause my thing is like, um, you could argue why academics is number one. I could understand.
Which we're
Academics
gonna get
name
to
is
in depth, my
yeah.
my guy.
His
But
name is
yeah.
everywhere when it comes to this. But whether it's good for hip hop or not, his name is he is like he's kind of like a staple now. Joe Button's academics, and I would say who else would be a staple? Like them two
Well,
right there.
Charlemagne. I
What
think
you say?
Charlemagne.
Yeah,
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne the Breakfast Club is, I guess they a little bit different in my opinion. Oh, and probably DJ Vlad. So the top three they're staples right now. I'll have to say that. Um, to me, the only reason why Joe Buttons isn't number one is because academics is controversial. Joe is not. You know what I'm saying? I think if academics was on the lines of not being so controversial, he would definitely not be number one. He would probably be number 27. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's the only reason why he's number one because he's very, very very, very controversial. And he goes at everybody. He says whatever he wants to say and whatever. Like, he's a keyboard
I'm
warrior.
gonna hold off before we get into a in-depth
Yeah.
conversation about DJ
Now,
Academic. But
now,
just
as
to
far
play
as
the
like everybody else on
yeah,
this list is trash. I ain't gonna hold you. They don't have the company man on here. All of these people are either former rappers or they're popular. So you
well,
got
they don't have a lot of the guys that we go to for our content, like Chig Smooth, like Jay Nolan.
yeah.
Um I think those guys are very good, but they don't have followers. Jalape's another one. Uh what's his name? The guy you go to a lot. He gets into the legal stuff and all that.
Come on, DeVille.
DeVille, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah, yeah. He's really good. I mean, I don't know if that dude. I don't know if he has like a law degree or went to law school or something. Man, he's smart as
He
shit.
from Cali.
Man.
He young boy from Cali.
He's smart as shit, man. He
Yeah.
puts me on to a lot of stuff when he's breaking down the legal documents and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know who else you thought should have made the list. I don't know if you can name some other people. They're definitely
It's a
good.
bunch of people that
Yeah.
I think should make the list. Hell, I should make the list. I do more episodes than all these niggas.
That's right. You the hardest working man
I
in the
think I
game
do
right
more
now,
episodes
man.
than everybody on YouTube, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
You
the
do
thing
like
is, like,
5 episodes a day.
yeah, on two different channels is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's a couple of people I think should have been on here. I definitely think Chink Smooth should have been on here,
Yeah.
and I definitely think that um, what's his name, Poetic Flacco should have been on here. I
I
think
don't know,
should have
man.
been on here.
But
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
that's your opinion, you know. Just looking at the top 10, Playboy Max, he's more like a streamer, but well, Casanat's a streamer technically too, but I'm that's more of a stream deal. Ebro at number 9, that's surprising because he just got fired from Hot 97, and all of a sudden now he's, you know,
And
into the
they
core of
also
the
don't
hip
got
hop
Glasses
music,
Malone on here either.
which we're going to talk about later. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting. That is interesting. They got DJ Head on here though, but not Glass and Malone.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Rory and Maul, you think they should be top 5? I like Fat Joe and Jada Kiss better than them. I like that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll be honest with you, Fat Joe and Jada Kiss, they blew up so fast, bro. It's unbelievable. They jumped. They just their podcast been around for not even 2 years,
Yeah,
and they already at what number 4.
yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, I like their podcast. I like their podcast a
But
lot,
you
but
know what it
it's
is
not
though?
better than it's not better than
I think that's rapper clout because
it
they're
gotta be.
legends in their own game. They're probably the 2 biggest rappers in hip
Yeah,
hop media. You know what I mean? I mean, all due respect to Joe Budden because he was a great lyricist himself. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think Fat Joe and Jada Kiss, they're like iconic rappers, and it's like people go to them for like the star value, the star power of it all. And their podcast is all right.
yeah,
It's got some room to grow, but yeah, Fantano is on there. You know, I never really liked the dude, but the one thing I'll say about Fantano, he reviews the music and
yeah.
he reviews the music in detail and all the music too. You really can't mess with him. Like he has, I think, more followers on YouTube than Academics, if I'm not correct, or Joe Budden.
Yeah, Academics has 1 million.
Mhm.
Fantano has 2 channels with 2 million.
Oh yeah,
So he has 4 million subscribers altogether.
they
He actually
can't.
has 3 channels. You know what I'm saying? And the other channel has. But who I would put at I think that and I'm surprised they got Cameron, but they don't have Cam and Mace on here. I guess because that's more of a sports
Well, he
podcast, I
has
guess.
another one. Yeah, he has another one. He has Talk with Flea.
Yeah.
So that's who I came on. And I think he should be up higher, specifically off of the J. Cole interview.
Yeah.
I thought that was very good what he did. So yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if I was to do it, if I was to give my top 5, in my opinion, number 1 would be Joe Budden's. Number 2 would be Charlemagne. I would go with him. I would say number 3. I would probably go with I mean, I guess you'd have to go with Academics just for the simple fact that how popular he is. You know what I mean? I would probably get Rory and Maul in the top 5. I'll probably put them in at number 4, and maybe Fat Joe and Jada Kiss at number 5, and then DJ Vlad. I'm not really the biggest fan of DJ Vlad either. So, but I definitely have Joe Budden as number 1. We go back and forth. We always talk about Joe Budden's, but the thing I like about Joe Budden's podcast is that you might not agree with him, but I see what he does. He always poses a topic, and then he always has a devil's advocate voice to come and say, but what about this angle? What about that? What about, and
Mhm.
even though they might not agree with it, they'll sauce it up just to have the debate. And see, that's the key. as long as you have debate and discussion, that's the win right there. You don't want to have all bias on there. And I know he's flip flopped on the Kendrick and Drake beat because now he's, you know, almost bowing at the altar of Drake now. But the fact that I see what he did, like, because if you remember with the Kendrick and Drake beef, they basically said we're gonna put the smart money on Drake. You know what I mean? Our money's down on Drake, and they didn't think Kendrick was gonna come back. Kendrick came back, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, we gotta admit it, man. He got the boy good. And for a
Yeah,
whole year, they tried to play that devil's advocate angle with Drake, and it really wasn't working. But now that the momentum is building, they're coming back towards that Drake side to kind of build the other side of it. So I see what they're doing, and I think
yeah.
that's a smart move.
Well, I noticed that everybody on here except academics and Trap Law Ross have interviewed everybody. All of these people on here are interviewers. Trap Law
Yeah.
Ross, I like Trap Law Ross a lot, man. I really like his channel a lot.
Yeah.
He was the one that did the whole King Von 3 hour King Von thing, where he was like 4 hours long, where he broke down, he went through the whole everything about what happened with King Von and all the people that got killed or whatever. But everybody on this list are interviewers. Everybody except for Traplo Ross and DJ Academics. That's why when people say, people say, because if you're going to put DJ Academics at number one, then my opinion, there's people that's bigger than DJ Academics that did more than DJ Academics. Like
A lot
No
more.
Life Shack, you got Screwface Gene, the Company Man, all of these dudes
Company
have
man. That's another one who's good.
yeah.
That's another one.
What's the other dude? Not Markman, the other one. The other bull who got a
Elliot
large.
Wilson?
What's his name?
Was it Elliot Wilson?
No, Elliot Wilson's on here.
Yeah.
He at the bottom down there.
Yeah.
But Elliot Wilson, like that's why I said all of these people on this list have interviewed people. You know who they don't have on here, and I'm very surprised. They don't have Say Cheese on here.
Yeah.
They don't have Say Cheese TV. I know it might be under the Art of Dialogue. I think Say Cheese is under the Art of Dialogue. I'm not sure, but they don't have Say Cheese on here. I know they would. I know the reason why they don't have Adam 22 on here. I
That's
know why
another
they.
one. But I can't stand him,
Yeah, I
man.
don't know why they don't have him on here.
He's dealing in the whole porn deal now. Like he's getting into the whole porn OnlyFans
Yeah,
culture and all of that. So he's off doing his own thing on that. He's not so much hip hop anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah. The thing about Joe Buttons though,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Buttons to me is the pioneer of all this.
Oh yeah.
People could say whatever they want. I remember when Joe Buttons did Joe Button TV and people was clowning him. They were literally Rick Ross, all of these rappers were clowning Joe Buttons back in the day. You remember? You got all your fans on the internet. Somebody want to hear you, bro? Blah blah blah
These were
blah.
the days when he got jumped by Wu-Tang Clan and all that.
Yeah, all of that,
Yeah.
all of
They
that. You know
clowning
what I'm
him
saying?
because of that.
And he went from that to being a multi-millionaire, owning his own company, everything. Joe Button Network, turning down multi-million-dollar deals, everything. I honestly think that Joe Buttons would be number one
He's
for
number
a
one in
long
my
time.
book.
Yeah, he'd be number one.
He's number one in my book. Um, I, I mean, you got whole channels like what's his name? The African dude, scores and assists or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, the other boy
They
from
don't have
Detroit.
Osei Du Jackson on here, but all of those people are not.
O'Shea Duke Jackson. I don't
Yeah,
know if he's hip hop though.
yeah. He does hip hop, but he does
Yeah,
everything else too. So maybe that's why they didn't include him.
but what's his name? Light skinned boy with the squeaky voice and the glasses. I
Are you talking
think
about MTR?
no, not him. he just talks about Joe Budden's podcast all the time.
Oh, what are you talking about? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, all of it,
yeah.
like I said, if you look
I
at
mean, their
these
whole
people,
channels are just dedicate to
yeah,
flipping Joe Budden podcast. I mean, you don't really
that's
see
it.
that much with anybody else. You know what I mean? That's all they talk about. I mean, some people clip academics, like we clip academics and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't agree with the list either. But I mean, it's like a popularity contest. Like I read the yeah, I read some of the criteria, man. What do you think? They mentioned that having a voice, a social voice for social issues was important. Also, your monetary brand, basically how much money you make. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. And they had some of the criteria on here that I kind of questioned, like, and like you said, is it a popularity contest or it's about really talking about hip hop and the hip hop culture? And I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Maybe they should have split this list up in hip hop talk personalities and more hip hop music personalities who's going to talk about the music. But they kind of mixed them all up in one. You know what I mean? Because when
Mm-hmm.
you know where I come from, I'm about the music. Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about really whose album is better than who's rapping better than who's better all time. Let's compare catalogs. Let's do all of that. Who won the battle? You know what I mean? Who had the better disc record? All of that. But a lot of these guys, and this is what I have an issue with, and we're going to get to academics in a second. They talk about gossip, man. They talk about like, like the baby mama shit, like Cardi B and her, ratchet nonsense going back to Stephon Diggs and not divorcing Offset, and you know what I mean, like all of that ratchet stuff, the Meg The Stallion stuff. Like, and look, I get it about Meg The Stallion and Tory Lanez, and a lot of people feel a way about that, but her music really don't pump like that. I'm rarely going to talk about Meg The Stallion on my channel, but they get into this gossip stuff, and I'm like, all right, now you're going a little bit left, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
agree with that. I don't know what you think, but
Well, I noticed what they did on this list, and at least with the top five, they try to get away with. Technically, they're not saying academics is number one, right?
yeah,
If you look at it, they're basically saying he's the most talked about. And I
yeah,
noticed that they did that on purpose because you can't say he's more of the culture because he's really not. He's not the all of the culture. So I noticed that, and then with Joe Buttons, they have the culture podcast king. It's like, what does that even mean, right? First of all, but I understand why they say that, but they had to say academics. They had to put a what they call it. They had to put some type of uh warning or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the word they use, but they had to put this
a
word that basically,
disclaimer.
yeah, disclaimer. They had to put
Yeah.
disclaimer there. The most talked about hip hop podcaster, like you know what I'm saying. Like he's the academics is the most talked about. But that doesn't mean that he is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Well,
what